It is a comedy masterclass. It does every comedic thing extremely well for 88 minutes total, relentlessly, nonstop, and flawlessly.
So why didn't you like it?
If you just look at the plot, the two pilots are poisoned. He has to step up and like face his demons to safely land the plane. Like, that's a dramatic movie. Male privilege is a hell of a drug. No, Jaclynn, this is actually how menstrual cycles work. Here's a glass of milk, Robby, and we'll just sit and eat snacks while Dad describes postmodernism. We'll just eat snack time. Yeah.
Stand by for the most extraordinary chain of events ever swept up into high adventure.
Hey, Larry, where's the forklift?
Forklift! It's over there for the baggage loader.
Airplane.
Robby, you brought this.
I did. It was a suggestion by my friend Sean, who lives in Michigan. I've known Sean since I was 6. And he heard a description that I gave in a previous podcast about the cockpit. In this movie, Airplane, there's a moment where the camera is panning the control panel of the cockpit, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on forever. And
Great
Sean,
visual joke.
Yeah, really good visual joke. And Sean listened to that podcast and said, "Oh, you guys should do Airplane." So I brought it to you.
And any friend of Robby's is a friend of the pod.
Yeah. And Sean listens to every single episode.
Thank you,
great.
Sean.
And actually,
Shout out No.
Yeah.
Not an ex-boyfriend, however. Yet. Just kidding. Is Sean married? I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Oh. Yes.
He does have a girlfriend. Yeah. So he suggested we do this, and I brought it to you, and you guys said okay, and there we are.
Yeah.
So this is a listener suggestion filtered through the magnetic pull of Robby Weinstein.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. And this is a movie that Sean and I watched a lot. We all watched this movie when we were growing up. When we got
Who's we all?
Like my friends. Like a lot of my friends and I, we quoted it. We watched it a lot. I'm sure Sean and I watched it on his Betamax.
What was the first time that you remember watching it?
My mom and dad took us to see it at a movie theater on Telegraph Avenue.
Oh my God, you saw it in a theater. I bet this was fun to see in a theater.
Yeah, and I didn't want to go see it. There were 2 movies that my parents forced us to see as a family. One was On Golden Pond, and the other one was this one. And after both of those movies, whatever they wanted to see, I decided that I never argued again.
And to have no idea what's coming.
Yes.
Like, it's one thing if you saw it in a theater today. I'm sure it comes out. I'm sure they re-release it all the time, honestly.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get like a crowd of like cult fanatics seeing it, and that would be fun. Mm-hmm. But to have no idea what's ahead, that must have been. Yeah,
it was the very beginning. I didn't want to see it when we sat down, but then the airplane, the tail of the airplane flying through the clouds, and you see the tail of the plane moving in and out of the clouds to the theme of Jaws. And we were sold.
I taught like the little kids, my friends' kids, when I was babysitting once, I taught them Jaws. And so for like weeks after, they were like, wait. I taught them jazz Jaws. The rest of the story doesn't even matter because that's funnier.
What version of Jaws did
Jaws. Start
spreading the jaws. That's really funny. Yeah, that's yep. End of story.
Was the idea for this motion picture a well-planned, thought out vehicle, or something that more accidental in nature?
It was completely by accident, and Jerry will explain why it was.
It was just, we just happened to be there at the studio, and there it was, and so we filmed it. Just, we are the luckiest three guys that.
It's a relentless joke factory that works because it's played dead seriously. And it has this dramatic through line that acts like a clothing line to seamlessly and relentlessly hang jokes upon. The plot could be a straight drama.
We were all watched a movie on late night television called 0 Hour, and we thought, gee, but it was a real serious flying movie, and we thought this is funny as it is, and we just do a little bit of writing, we can make it into an actual comedy, and so we did that.
So a former war pilot with PTSD is forced to land a plane in an emergency after the other pilots are poisoned.
Oh, really quickly, can you tell us the formula that you used?
It's an 88-minute film, and there was at least a joke every 20 seconds. Like the longest I went without seeing a joke was 20 seconds. So at least every 20 seconds there's a joke. And then if you take 88 minutes times 60 divided by 20, that gets you to, I'll give you the exact number, a minimum of 264 jokes, a joke every 20 seconds. 3 jokes a minute, and they're good jokes, right? There's, I wouldn't say that there was some I rolled my eyes at, some I didn't love as much, some are better than whatever, but they were all good. What a tightly written script.
At one point, I was trying to track like what was a gag, what was a running gag, what was like a, and there were different types of things, like a verbal gag or a visual gag. And all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore.
Because I started to break it down. Where I sort of was like, okay, what's a runner? Then like, what's a callback? What's heightening? And then a lot of them are doing all 3 of them. Yeah. Then other things are related to other things. And there's visual jokes, but there are, multiple things are doing multiple things at the same time. You can't really break them into I couldn't break them successfully into categories. I couldn't count the jokes because it's like when he's at the airport and he starts punching everyone, like people come up to him and stuff. It's like, when does that turn into the joke? And each one's its own joke, but also it's one joke. Yeah. It's a comedy masterpiece.
Yeah.
And they make it look easy. Like it really looks like I don't know. I watched it and I was like, oh, this is so predictable or so like straightforward that it's like, ugh, I could do that. Yeah. I could not. Or it would take a whole bunch of work. It would take, it's hard. I think they make it look really easy.
It's like inventing the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
In retrospect, I could totally do that. That's so easy.
Yeah, there's in the book, they really go into the process of making like how they put together the final cut of this, and they had to go through several screenings because people weren't getting it, and it looks really simple, but people would watch it and they didn't like. It took them a very long time to figure out what they were watching, and it was when they put that first scene with the plane in the clouds
that got you.
People immediately like, okay, this is the movie we're watching, and now we're allowed to like breathe a little bit. And but like you said, it took a lot of work to get there. It looks really easy and looks really simple, but in order to make it,
like, what was the editing process like? So that would have been the editor. Would have had a real big part in this. That is like one of the biggest rules of comedy, right? It's like you have to let people know it's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting that they found that they had to do something really big and clear up front to announce what the movie was. So it's like people could settle in and be like, okay, this is what it is, and I can laugh at it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be absurd.
It is crazy that like it is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like, oh, what if we do this? What if we do this? What if we do this? And all of a sudden, like something clicks and it works, and then you're done. And it looks like, oh, we meant to do it this whole time. Yeah.
One of the things that I need to do as a director is be able to look at that monitor and actually laugh. When it makes me laugh, I know we've got it and we can move on. And even then, sometimes you're wrong. One of the scariest terms, you probably heard this, is, oh, that's a dailies laugh. So they laugh in dailies, and then you put it up in front of an audience and it doesn't get a laugh.
I think it's one of the funniest movies ever made. And going into it this time, what surprised me was that the reason it works is because the jokes are layered onto or flow directly from the story. And the story is the most important part of the movie. Without the story, it doesn't work. And it also influenced a slew of current influential comedy minds like Seth MacFarlane, Adam McKay, and the Farrelly brothers. And I'm sure there's more. I'm just forgetting.
The man, the myth, the legend, Bill Hader is here.
I'm in that book that came out about Airplane, but that is such a formidable movie for me, you know, and I'd watch it every time I was on, and still to this day, I know every word to it, and I'm still like dying laughing.
It does seem like it set the stage for many a comedian's of your generation. That sounds so obnoxious, but like I think of Will Ferrell, right. Adam McKay. You can see the influence of this film. I think a lot of people, probably a lot of comedians who came after, who were like children at this time, felt like that was the funniest thing they've ever seen, and you can see that inspiration.
I don't know if this is the time for it, but there's a book by the makers of the movie called Surely You Can't Be Serious. And it's a true story of Airplane. And it's like oral histories of the making of the movie. And if you're so inclined out there, buy this book. It's amazing. Or get it from the library.
Sounds fun. Oh,
yeah.
Shout out library, Robby. There it is. I mean, I think probably the less you know, the better. I don't think you need to know anything going in. What I knew, I thought I'd seen it, but I don't think I had. But I think I've seen like almost every clip of it. And I think I'd seen almost every joke in it, but I'd never seen the full movie. So I actually didn't realize that there was like such a strong plot. I didn't realize that there was like this very serious, dramatic through line. But I'd seen like every single joke. I knew. Mm-hmm. I'd heard every line, I'd seen it, I'd quoted it, I'd seen clips of it. So I was very familiar with it, but I don't actually think I've ever seen it.
Okay.
I won't say I knew every joke. I believe there to have been around 200, a minimum of 250 jokes in this film.
Did you do the math?
I did some math. I believe that there is a joke there's a joke from what I could tell, at least every 20 seconds, there's a joke. Mm-hmm. And sometimes there are jokes back to back to back. Sometimes there are jokes layered on top. So there is a minimum of like 246. A minimum. Yeah. There's probably like closer to 480, but there's a minimum of 250 jokes. So I probably have seen like 200 of the jokes in this film, like just in the world. What
are the jokes that you remembered going into it? Like, were there any?
I remember like the blow up doll pilot.
Right.
So much of what has come after it is so obviously inspired by it that it feels very familiar.
Yeah.
And then a lot of memes have come out of it. So like one of my all-time favorite GIFs is the scene where like the woman gets shaken and then she gets shaken and hit and then shaken and hit twice. And then and then there's the line. And that was my favorite 2020 GIF, because it was like 2016 is like the first one, and then 2017 is the second person, and then it just like it lists and that's how it felt, right? Like each year, just like you think it's the worst thing to ever happen to you, and then the abuse gets stronger and stronger until it's like a baseball bat, you know? Watching it, I felt like I knew most of them. The most iconic to me was the Shirley one, and the Victor, Roger, Clarence one, which I love, because I love Who's on First. Anything that's like a Who's on First to me is just I love words that sound similar to other words, confusing people.
Yeah, the verbal wit.
I'm going to say something that might ruin my friendship with Robby and my future romance with Sean. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry, Sean's girlfriend. I don't mean it. I didn't like the movie.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really like it. But so this is what I think people should know going in. It is a comedy masterclass. It does every comedic thing extremely well for 88 minutes total, relentlessly, nonstop, and flawlessly.
So why didn't you like it?
Oh,
it felt too obvious, I guess, right? Like it wasn't subtle enough for me, I suppose. It just was like a relentless. It's why I don't always like stand-up comedy. It's sort of like, yep, that is a setup and a punchline. That is a joke. Right. That's a joke. That's a joke. That like it didn't have. I like stuff a little darker. I don't love something that's just comedic. So I like something that takes you on like an emotional up and down. So sometimes you feel kind of like punched in the gut and then brought back up and then twisted and turned. Sure. So I like the complexity of it more than I like just a comedy, just a straight comedy, personally. But it wasn't that I didn't think this isn't brilliant. Like, it is to me a comic masterclass. I just don't want to just laugh. Like, I didn't find it like relatable. I didn't see myself in it. It didn't have like a metaphor overtone. It just was funny, relentlessly funny. Maybe I just hate joy.
You really surprised me when your reasons for not liking it weren't related to the year and time period in which it was made.
I found it a lot. I forgave it more than I've been forgiving a lot of things. So there were things that weren't my favorite. The pedophilia runner. What the fuck? There's a little bit of misogyny in there. There's a little bit. I'm curious. I've thought a bit about like, how racist is it? And I'm not sure, because part of me is like, I think it's commenting on itself. Like, it's not just being racist. It felt a bit like it's satire and parody. It almost gets away with it, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I forgave it more than I forgive. I've forgiven some things, but yeah, not all of it was my favorite. I think because it's satire and parody, it's somewhat in on the joke in a way that some of the things we've seen haven't been, where they're just bad.
It isn't for me to defend it. Like, I've thought about those scenes, and those, especially the pedophilia one, is just so bizarre and just like so wrong that I love it. Like, I really like those lines and that man, but it also has a lot to do for me with the context of the movie. Yeah. Because it's played so straight. And it uses these like actors from the 50s and the 60s who are like very white, very old, very like dry, and seeing them in these positions doing these things is kind of the fun of the movie. Like,
and it is, there's a bit of commentary on it, which is why it's not just like a screenwriter with blinders on. Like, there is an awareness that this is a thing that is getting made fun of.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh, this is a creepy screenwriter being pedophilic.
Yeah.
Or this is like just another freaking dude writing a movie where he gets to make out with the lead character who's 28 years younger than him. It was like there was a sort of an awareness, and then it was calling attention to it, and awareness, which is also why I'm not as hard on it, because it kind of felt like they also knew, and that's why it was part of the joke.
Yeah. And part of it, which I don't know if this is going to make it any better, but this script was already a movie.
That's something people could know going in.
Oh, what do you mean? Yeah, this script was already a movie?
Yeah.
It's a parody of a whole other movie.
Yeah. Which there are,
which you don't need to know going in, but
yeah.
Apparently it makes it funnier. So we did technically watch it out of order.
Great.
Yeah.
Because what's a movie called that it's a parody of Zero?
0 Hour. It's
Zero
called.
Hour.
And it's
a serious movie.
It's like a sincere disaster movie, and there are whole swaths of this, or whole patches of this movie that are taken verbatim, like the script.
I want you to get on the horn and talk this guy down.
You're going to have to let him get the feel of that airplane on the way.
You'll have to talk him onto the approach.
So help me, you'll have to talk him right down to the ground.
Who's got the cigarettes? Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
I don't know if the same actors were in that movie that are in this one, but it's from the same like lineage of actor who are very serious actors. Like Leslie Nielsen was like a dramatic actor, and
that was it. That's all he was known for.
Yeah,
for like 30 years before Airplane.
And Robert Stack and
Robert Stack.
Yeah, and
he was good.
Yeah, and Bridges, Jeff Bridges, and Beau Bridges' father is in this movie as well. I forget what it is. Lloyd,
yes,
Bridges.
Of course, Lloyd Bridges.
Yeah, so all of these actors were like very, very serious, and these guys took those and they were like, please just play it seriously. Just play it.
And that's what I think is like the comedy masterclass of it, is they play it so straight.
The guys in your movie, in Airplane, are so deadpan and so perfect.
And they had those voices too, especially Leslie.
Yes.
That deep, resonant voice that makes you think that he's going to say something brilliant.
You could not show that you were aware of the joke.
Because in comedy, the moment the audience sees that you or know what the joke is, then it's over. They're not going to laugh.
And it's a dramatic, like if you just look at the plot, right? It's about a veteran, like a war veteran who has PTSD and can't fly planes.
Yes.
Ends up in an emergency situation in which like it all hinges on him overcoming his PTSD to like save the day. After the two pilots are poisoned.
Yeah.
He has to step up and like face his demons to safely land the plane. Like that's a dramatic movie.
Yeah.
And that is the plot of this film. Like it's like dead serious drama. And that's there and they follow it through. They don't let it, like it never wanders off. It never gets forgotten. It's not absurd in any way. Like that is like start to finish A, B, C, like that is what we get to.
Yeah.
But it's like the clothing line of which it's just like joke, visual joke in the front foreground, joke in the background. And it's hilarious, but they play it so straight. And it's absurd, but it's not absurd. It's about a plane that is in crisis.
Yeah.
And they're trying to safely land it.
I wish I'd talked to you too before I watched this movie.
Yeah, it's great.
So I guess we're telling you what people need to know.
Yeah. So I have a wildly different opinion.
Oh, I can't wait to hear
when I
it.
sat down.
I hope you're still going to share your original opinions.
It's so embarrassing.
Oh, phenomenal.
I want to hear.
Over to you, Cole.
To respond to the what did I used to think you needed to know before we sat down. This is Airplane 1980. This is not Mel Brooks.
There it is.
Yep.
It's also not Airplane 1976, what you thought.
Yes, I also thought it was Airplane 1976.
By Mel Brooks.
And I'll try to change the pronouns here from we to I. Because I had written, I should say that we were certain that it was Mel Brooks.
No.
Yep, nope, I should say I was certain it was Mel Brooks. We were doing this out of order because Blazing Saddles, a Mel Brooks film, came first before Airplane.
I really did just let you go with that.
Yeah.
Nodded. You were there too. Both of us were like, yeah, sure. I don't,
Mel
why
Brooks
not?
had nothing to do with
No.
this. He is on record saying that he loved it. He, quote, laughed his buns off, and maybe he broke a stitch watching it, but he didn't write it, didn't direct it. It wasn't his idea. He had nothing to do with it. It sounds like a Mel Brooks movie. Maybe it even looks like a Mel Brooks movie, but the dude had nothing to do with it. And I was so certain it was a Mel Brooks movie that I literally had to bite my tongue in person, I invited my landlord to watch Airplane. And was like, this is probably, she's a boomer. I am not. I was hoping the only thing that we could.
It's the Venn diagram that was going to combine you two.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And I had to bite my tongue very literally when she was like, oh yeah, I love that movie. It's written by 3 people from my hometown in Wisconsin. It's like, lady, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a Mel Brooks movie.
Perfect.
I think you owe her
What an idiot. She thinks they're from her hometown even. So specific that you still didn't question it. You were like, no, I'm still right.
Welcome, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, how'd you get involved with Airplane, the movie?
The Zucker brothers are from Wisconsin, from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin.
This is an exciting night for us. This, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the first time we've ever had 3 chairs out here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I for one, am mighty excited. There's a reason for us having 3 chairs out here. It was conceived, written, and directed by 3 young men
from Wisconsin, from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. They said, maybe Kareem will do it.
It does have a Mel Brooks-ness to it.
Yes. Yeah, the zaniness and the sort of chaos to it.
Yeah, but it's still, God, Mel Brooks is so singular, and this is so singular. Mm-hmm. That was something I had to keep doing. To your point, I think I didn't get so mad about some of the things that felt a little antiquated because I had to keep telling myself, you are watching this in 2026. I had to keep reminding myself, like, it's sort of like the Gone with the Wind, right? Like it's easy to look at that as like outdated or like, it's all been done before, but it's like, no, it was the first to have done it. This was like the first to have done a lot of these, I believe, but that is so funny. Cool. You didn't even, after she said it's 3 people from her hometown.
The Zucker brothers were from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin, and had seen me play when I played for Milwaukee.
Does she listen to this?
No, she doesn't. I've never listened to a podcast. I don't download things. Wait here.
Okay, great. That's amazing. When did you realize? Did you realize today?
I realized.
Or did you think you're just going to be able to make fun of me because you thought you and me were in it together thinking it was Mel Brooks?
No, I realized when the credits
there's
said, not a Mel Brooks movie, Cole.
Literally personalized.
Wait, there are 3 directors.
There's 3. They're all
Is this a
from
Mel Brooks
Wisconsin.
joke? Does Mel Brooks do credits jokes? And then when she said Wisconsin, I was like, well, I can see how you'd think that because The Onion is from Wisconsin and The Onion is the funniest thing from my childhood. And now this Venn diagram has also reconflated itself.
Wow.
To be like,
You told a real story.
Wow.
How did you get to The Onions from Wisconsin? So I guess I could see how she fucked this up.
When you emphasize the she like that, it sounds so bad.
White male privilege is a hell of a drug. No, Jaclynn, this is actually how menstrual cycles work.
She was just
I don't care about your actual lived experience. I would like you to know
that I dreamed a thing in my head and it was true.
So I guess the thing people should know is it's not a Mel Brooks film.
It's not a Mel Brooks film. Mm-hmm. It was in fact directed by 3 people, 3 old friends from Wisconsin.
Yeah, believe women.
That was the worst.
That's the takeaway. That's from Airplanes.
Let me add on top of this that the woman who told me the fact that it was not a Mel Brooks movie is arguably, Jaclynn's the smartest person I know in real life. This is arguably the most educated person that I know in real life.
And you still were like,
MIT engineering undergrad, Wharton Business School MBA, Sorbonne PhD in mathematics.
And Cole's like, nah. What does she know?
To be fair, none of those things scream, I know pop culture.
True. None of them do.
The only thing I have in my defense is that she actively ignores general pop culture and makes fun of the fact that, people still make movies. You don't need to make movies anymore.
No, it's great. It's not at all a sexist, ageist. I'm just kidding, Cole. I love you.
It sure comes off like that, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Please welcome the trio of satirists, Jim Abrams, David Zucker, and his brother Jerry Zucker.
When were each of you in or out of Airplane 1980?
Okay, might have fallen asleep.
What?
The first time.
When did you... let's change the question. When did each of you fall asleep during Airplane?
I don't think Robbie's going to answer that question with the same
fall
ease.
asleep. It's a very pointed question toward one person.
Yeah, it's pretty specific. Cool. I would say about a third of the way in. Mm-hmm. But I just don't like only comedies. It's not this movie's fault. Upon second viewing, I stayed awake.
Wow, that's...
I appreciate it. When did you fall asleep watching it, Robbie?
I didn't. I didn't at all. In fact, what got me in this time was the phone call from the Mayo Clinic. I did not. Yeah, Ham on 5, hold the mayo.
Yeah, Ham on 5, hold the mayo.
I didn't realize that. First of all, he was standing and reading a magazine at the newsstand, and the sign next to him said "whacking material." I missed that the first time around. It's like very Mad Magazine influence, where there are like these little things in the margins of the pictures that you sort of see or don't see the first time around, and then once you're familiar with everything. But also, I didn't realize that there were just jars and jars of mayonnaise in the background of the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
I was like, oh, I'm still going to learn things. I never got that.
This is Dr. Brody at the Mayo Clinic. There's a passenger on your Chicago Flight 209, a little girl named Lisa Davis, en route to Minneapolis. She's scheduled for a heart transplant. I want you to make sure that she's kept in a reclined position and that a continuous watch is kept on her IV.
I think part of what got me out, so maybe I was out pretty quick, was I felt like it was referencing a lot of things I didn't know because it was from 1980. So I recognized the Jaws parody, and at some point I recognized Saturday Night Fever, perhaps. But I felt like it was making a lot of jokes I also wasn't getting because I wasn't of the zeitgeist of the 80s. So I think part of that pulled me out of it. Like I got almost frustrated of like, I don't know what I'm missing and I don't know what I'm...
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I didn't get a single reference in it beyond Jaws, but it didn't matter for me because everything, they still just did funny bits.
When were you in and when were you out? Or when did you fall asleep, Cole? This is your question.
To half answer your question, I was surprised that I was less blown away by it than I expected to be, because to me it was the most important Mel Brooks comedy.
His seminal masterpiece.
It's like, this is what you graduated from after Blazing Saddles. I can't wait. I've been waiting for this my entire life.
That's so funny.
And when I was in or out, I was in on the Jewish jokes.
The light reading?
Yeah, do you have any light reading? How about this leaflet? Famous Jewish sports legends. Because when I Googled a list of famous Jewish sports stars, I only recognized Sandy Koufax. So it felt like a comment on reality, not like a mean joke.
Yeah. That's where like, I'm like, is it racist or is it just like a commentary on reality of like, were there other ones? That's the one I most noticed.
There was the Air Israel, which was hilarious. Like the airplane that had like the tallis and the yarmulke and the long beard.
Yep.
I found it 1% offensive from 2026 Brain, but it also didn't start with that and ended with that as like the most Jewish jokey. Also, are the dudes from Wisconsin
yeah, they're Jewish.
Of course.
Yeah.
So even funnier.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
You know what? Really, the reason I was offended by the Air Israel beard was because the production value was too low for how funny the joke could have been.
Oh, okay.
It looked like this is just like kids put a beard on a model airplane, and it didn't look like a movie. It just looks like
you needed them to have like an act. You wanted to Christopher Nolan it, and you're like, I need an actual plane. Yeah, I'm gonna need real facial hair, the size of an airplane.
Yes, that's exactly what I pictured.
Yeah. I didn't see it as like a model, so I didn't I thought they actually did that to an airplane.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
The scene where they actually crash the plane into the airport is an actual plane. I think it was like the last scene.
I was wondering. I was hoping that felt real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I thought that would be really fun.
Yeah. So that's why I thought that the Air Israel thing was also a real plane. Like somebody dressed it up. But yeah.
Here's a question. Because I did think it was real. When the plane, I assume they got one take when the plane crashed into the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if the woman throwing her baby in the air was scripted?
I
assume it was because it's very like on point to the humor, but I think it would be amazing if that was improvised. She's like, we got one shot.
She just said, fuck it. I think this is really funny. I'll throw my baby in the air.
Baby.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but that's great. I think I missed that as
Yeah,
well.
it's a good one. It's one of those subtle, like more background jokes that are. It is like there's so much. I mean, you can watch it again and again, and
there were several things in there. Seeing, viewing it through like a modern lens that I absolutely understand is like very problematic, and I sort of struggle with this sometimes with the. It's an absurd movie. Like anything that's being made fun of is just being made fun of from like an absurdist point of view, or we set up expectations in one way and then we undermine them or undercut them in another way. And it's like a very Jewish point of view, and it's very much of that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's making fun of the people who are making it, and it's making fun of the people who are watching it as well. And I never know what to do with that information other than to like recognize it and then move on.
Because that's what I just keep going back to, is that like comedy needs to, by its very definition, I think, live a little bit outside of the rules of society.
Yeah.
And not to the point where like you don't just get to be transphobic and be like, oh, it's a joke, right? Like there are boundaries, and there should be. Whether or not you live in them as a comedian is up to you. But I do think like there is a world where it does need to exist a little bit outside of proper society, so that you can say the inappropriate things, or you can, like, it can only comment on itself if it lives outside of the norm. So there, like, it is commenting on those things, not just blindly doing them.
Yeah.
And so it's like seeing the absurdity, or it's seeing the in some cases. Some cases, I think it is just a little of the time, and it's a little cringe.
Yeah.
And some of it is like, I do kind of say it like lives in a slightly different place, where it is sort of commenting on the society where that's a problem.
Yeah.
And like the joke is that exists, or that is true, and that is a problem. And so it's a comedy has to be able to do that, and it has to be kind of held to, I don't want to say a different standard, because I don't think that's true, but it
needs to enact itself upon that standard.
Yeah.
There's a laziness in many of the things that Airplane spawned of, well, we're just making an Airplane-esque joke. Yes, you're making an Airplane-esque joke, but you aren't commenting on society with it. You're just being mean for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a sometimes stand-up, I try really hard not to do blue jokes, because it's sort of like, I don't find poop jokes, fart jokes, sex jokes funny just because you're saying them. But if you can get outside of what, like, the norm of society today and comment on it, that's brilliant. Like, that is to me the goal, not just doing things because they're funny, or just because like, this is misogynistic, right? Like, women are dumb. Like,
my landlord doesn't know that this is a Mel Brooks movie.
What a dumb woman. Typical woman. Tiny brain. Old lady. But no, I will love you, Cole. I really do. But yeah, I think it does both. I think it has moments where it's sort of blind to some of its uglier ridges, and in other cases it's also it's very aware of like, this is kind of a problem, and like, let's comment on it.
Oh, Robby, could you please recall the Seth Rogen comedians in cars getting coffee scene that you brought up 9 months ago?
Go.
Oh my God, I cannot. I'm not
He took a deep breath. He took a deep breath and just went, I cannot.
I cannot. What was it?
I think obliviousness is the thing that people don't like. When they don't think you can tell you're making a joke that is inappropriate. If you know it's something that is taboo to be saying, and that's folded into the recipe, then you can say whatever the you want.
You sometimes cross lines where you're not supposed to, and you have to forgive yourself, or you at least have to acknowledge, like, oh, I did this thing, it was not great, and it wasn't done out of
malice. It is risky.
Yeah, it's risky. That's it. Yeah, that's
risky.
Great.
I feel like that on here, and I think I suffer as a podcaster for my deep fear of what I'm saying into the microphone being held against me forever. Apparently, my Sinners podcast was not my best, because I was so busy being like, what if I'm offensive? Anyway, it's risky. It's risky to be of the moment, to say what you think, to be outlandish.
Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you fall a little bit short of
my My favorite Lucille Ball quote, my favorite, it's like one of my favorite quotes of all time is, I'm not funny. What I am is brave. And I think that's the best description of a comedian, of a great comedian. Like, I'm not funny. I'm just brave. Like, I'm willing to look stupid. I'm willing to say the wrong thing. I'm willing to fall flat. Like, I'm going to take this big swing and maybe no one will laugh. Like, it's brave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I felt like that's what this movie was like, and even if it's even in its more problematic moments in that through a modern lens, like it did in fact try to do something, and
it did stuff brilliantly. Yeah. It's funny too to be this hard on it. I guess we've seen some really problematic stuff and going back. Yeah. So I guess it's probably also why I was easier on it. It just is not the most offensive thing I've seen of recent. The pedophilia was the hardest for me.
It had the least connection to the moment and to the story itself.
Yeah. But it might also exist in 0 Hour, which I don't have the context for.
Yeah.
It may have been also in 1980, people just made pedophile jokes.
But it is also, it comments on it, right? The fact that it exists in the film means in a comedy means it already sort of knows it's not right.
Yeah, and it's certainly
I didn't like it, but also it's not signing off on it. I didn't feel like they were like, "Hey guys, here's a dude you should be here's a guy you should be more like. Here's a great man of our time." I would be curious from like just a personal perspective, and maybe this is in the book that we should all read, like why they did pick 0 Hour and decide like this movie we need to skewer, like
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Like in throughout the 70s, there were like all of these huge disaster movies, like the Poseidon Adventure and Airport 77, and like in 0 Hour, and all these sort of melodramas. And I think these guys started with like in a sketch and theater background.
Mm-hmm. So you can tell.
Like I think what they were doing was, I mean, they used a lot of their backgrounds to make like these great sketch shows, and
it feels very heavily sketch influenced.
Yeah, and then they made a sketch movie called Kentucky Fried Movie, which is amazing, which is really, really good. And then
you might have referred to that as Blazing Saddles, Cole, but it's actually Kentucky Fried Movie.
But it's like it's a series of like I think Bill Murray makes an appearance in it.
What is this theater? I feel like I know this theater.
It's called Kentucky Fried Theater.
Oh, the theater too?
Yeah. And so they found a place in Wisconsin and just started putting on sketch shows that became wildly popular.
Cool.
And then
they're very good writers.
Yeah. And so they honed their shows and they developed it through like constant repetition, and then they wanted to make a feature-length film.
Fun.
Like a narrative one. And so they found this script or this movie called 0 Hour, and they were like, we want to do this, which is very similar to Team America. The guys who made Team America also wanted to do something similar.
Those are the South Park guys, right?
Yeah. The South Park guys. They wanted to do a puppet version of a film that was already made, and they couldn't get the rights to it, so they made Team America.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I could see Trey Parker and Matt Stone being highly influenced by these movies as well.
Yeah. So that's what I understand about the making, like from it. Like they just wanted to make a parody of a disaster movie.
And they happened to pick this one.
Yeah. But they used like the stuff that like they had created their own sort of voice and vision of what sketch looked like, and it looked a lot like that. Yeah.
And then just Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, just nowhere.
Chilling as the co-pilot. But it's literally him. He's like, yeah, I did play basketball. Right. And now I'm flying this plane. Amazing.
Oh, that brings up a huge question. With all of us laughing at the context of the context of the context of these bits, Jaclynn, before we started recording, you had mentioned postmodernism, but you didn't bring it up. In the recording.
I didn't, because I realized I was wrong. I was taking a very self-centered view of all things. So I learned about postmodernism in grad school in the early aughts, where I thought it started with like Scream, because that's what we were learning about. And so for me, postmodernism started in around 2000. So I was going to come and show my graduate school education off to Cole and talk about how, despite not being not being a postmodern film, it had many of those characteristics. And then I looked it up. And it was like, one great example is this spaghetti western from 1964. And I was like, never mind. And I also couldn't even think of the term. I've been looking for days to remember like what term I was looking for, because I kept hearing meta and I couldn't get beyond meta. And then metatextual, but I was like, there's another word. And I finally had to say it out loud in this room. And Cole had to tell me what it was. And then I still was wrong. And so any attempt to like out intellectualize fucking Cole just led me to being dumber.
Damn.
But it is a good example of postmodernism film, I would say.
Could one of you define that for me so that when I begin to talk about it?
Yeah, it was invented in 2026 for you. Mm-hmm. Cole, how about if you do it? Do you want to do it? I was just...
To talk about postmodernism, you first need to establish what modernism is.
Go on. I'm going to eat a snack, so you can go ahead. We'll just sit and eat snacks while Dad describes postmodernism. We'll just eat snack time.
I'm just going to pull up this bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, Dad's about to tell us about postmodernism. Here's a glass of milk, Robby, and some snacks. They're even fig fucking Newtons. I feel like I'm sitting on a big rug in a kindergarten class.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to try to make this as reductive as possible.
Oh, God. Mr. Chilton? Mr. Cole?
Okay. Hey, guys. Modernism, which came before postmodernism, was established in literature in the early 1900s. And its whole thing is work that takes itself seriously. It gives a damn. It tries.
April is the cruelest month.
But then postmodernism is a commentary on modernism
In your account, you currently have...
and a rearranging of those values in ways that you did not expect.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest tonight...
Excuse me.
Why? You know, I loved my grad school experience, but I would have understood things a lot faster if I'd had you.
Wow, that's the only nice thing someone's ever said about my teaching.
I think it might be the, what's the word? The sanctimonious. And what's the other word? Not passive aggressive, but...
Snide.
Pretentious.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Condescending.
I love that I was trying to be smart and I just set you up for being smart.
That's very, yeah.
It is postmodern.
Your timeline was just self-centered. Which is a very postmodern way of thinking.
That should be the title to my memoir. Mm-hmm. Your timeline is self-centered. It was doing postmodernism before postmodernism. But it wasn't. It was doing postmodernism during postmodernism.
You knew. It was doing postmodernism before you knew about
it. I might not have been born yet.
May we go to favorite lines, please?
I have an exchange that I like, which is with Rumac and Captain Over. And Rumac goes up to Captain Over and says, "Captain, how soon can you land?" "I can't tell." "You can tell me, I'm a doctor." "No, I mean, I'm not sure." "Well, can't you take a guess?" "Well, not for another 2 hours." "You can't take a guess for another 2 hours?"
I also liked the part, it was, I think, Elaine and Leslie Nielsen.
Why do you hate Leslie Nielsen so much?
I don't. I love him. But I want him to be Liam Neeson. Which would also be very funny. To be fair, Airplane with Liam Neeson would be funny.
Yeah.
But they have an exchange, but it's basically like, someone's in the hospital, and Elaine's like, "A hospital? What is it?"
You'd better tell the captain. We've got to land as soon as we can. This woman has to be gotten to a hospital.
A hospital? What is it?
It's a big building with patients, but that's not important right now. Tell the captain I must speak to him.
Certainly. Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. That's not important right now. You see, the first officer is ill, and the captain needs someone to help him with the radio.
Most of the movie is is like taking it literally or misanswering or most of the movie is wordplay or which I love. I do and kind of hate.
There's two that I have. They're exchange. Well, one is an exchange.
You've been quoting this movie nonstop, but there are only two.
Well,
that's
two
amazing.
that I have to get on there, and one is when it's between Ted Stryker and I forget the stewardess's name, the blonde stewardess, and Dr. and Leslie, whatever. So Ted Stryker says, it's an entirely different kind of flying altogether. And the two people say, in unison, it's an entirely different kind of flying. I did not get that. I
took me a minute.
That joke. When I first saw it, I think it was the funniest thing.
It took me a second. That one I laughed like 13 seconds later.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Could you make me laugh about it, please?
I don't know if I can.
Okay, Cole, you say it first. You play the Stryker role, and Robby and I'll play the other two.
It's an entirely different kind of flying.
No.
Nope, that's not. You're missing.
You're missing the altogether.
It's an entirely different type of flying altogether.
Yeah. That's what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
It's an entirely different type of flying altogether.
It's an entirely different kind of flying. There you go.
There you go.
You're welcome. We did it.
Yeah. It takes a while. And the second one is Rex Kramer at the end saying, do you know what it's like to fall in the mud and get kicked in the head by an iron boot? Of course you don't. No one does. I'm sorry, Ted. That's a dumb question. Let's get
That's funny.
It's amazing.
Of course you know. That's a dumb question.
Here's a small favorite line for you, Jaclynn, because you made so much fun of me for saying bet once. And somebody in 1976 in this film says, all right, bet.
1980.
1980.
Sorry, I didn't mean to remind you there.
Cole tries to drop the mic. Robby's like,
do it again. Do it again.
No. Bet. Bet. I mean, of course. And I'm sorry. It's so, the joke, but the way that Leslie Nielsen delivered, he really is phenomenal at this because he's so deadpan and so serious, but he's like, I am serious and don't call me Shirley. This is very funny. I really like, and I think because I've done this sometimes, because I kind of have hated working in predominantly male industries in which like I'm often assumed just because I'm the woman, like I'm the one who should go like get the coffee or I should do the thing. Mm-hmm. So I really appreciated like the runner of like Lloyd Bridges, air traffic controller. At a stressful moment, he'll kind of like yell out into the room, how about some coffee? Johnny, how about some coffee? And then there's Johnny who's like maybe like a lower level worker. Like it's clear that he's being asked to go get coffee. The assumption is there, but he takes it literally. So it's like, how about some coffee? And he's like, no, thanks. McCroskey keeps trying to get this coffee and it just keeps being, Johnny, how about some more coffee? And I'm just replying cheerfully, no, thanks. How about some coffee? No, thanks. How about some coffee? No, thanks. And I think that's actually a really funny thing to do when people are asking you to do something that's not your fucking job. No, thank you. Nice of you to offer.
And just to prove that I'm not a misogynist jerk.
Oh, this is going to go well.
Could you please state who got the coffee this morning?
Cole got the coffee.
Cole got the coffee. Booked the room and got the snacks and coffee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did text me and say it's a woman's job, but I'm going to do it. Just kidding, that's a lie. But my favorite line, because I love, it's a who's on first, you know?
Yeah.
And I love it. I just love this. Flight 209, you are cleared for takeoff. Roger, huh? LA departure frequency 123.9er. Roger, huh? Request Victor, over. What? Flight 209 cleared for Vector 324. We have clearance. Roger, roger. What's our vector, Victor? Towers radio clearance, over. That's Clarence, over. Roger, huh? I love it.